Hello YouTube vintage stereo collectors and Heathkit appreciators. It's been a bit of a long road on this one, but I actually have it back together and working. If I were to video all the time spent this one, we'd be about 7 or 8 hours straight. But quite a lot's been done to it. Before I turn it on, I gotta turn it on. Is that a great look? I'm going to turn off my little side lamp here. I put new incandescent bulbs in. I actually first tried, I had two LED bayonet type. I tried them and it's too cool looking. Maybe it's up to you, like they're so easy to change. There's 4 bulbs here. Yeah, so it tunes nice and smoothly. Gets a lot of stations. I did a previous version of this video and did just snippets of FM, and when I tried to post it, it was flagged by YouTube, and I'm talking just like 10-15 seconds on each station. So I can't play them on this channel. I don't know how other people get away with it, but maybe I need to know something. Maybe there's something I'm not doing right. So here's a little summary of it. You gotta look at that. So basically it's the trim, all the plastic trim, the diffuser, the dial, the knobs are from the parts unit. Clean up all these switches. The AM FM switch is still a bit stiff. I'm going to give it some more lube. Took the Heathkit decal off the other one and carefully put it on here. This is the power switch. Now, let's just swing around a bit. This is basically a separate AM and separate FM tuner. They're running at the same time. So when you tune the AM dial, you can actually see you're hitting stations, even if you're in FM mode. Kind of interesting. There's a reason they did that. This was a transition period when these came out. In the early 60s, some stations in the early stereo days were sending one channel on FM and one on AM. Hence, there's an FM left and right output and an AM output. And there's controls. So if you ever see one of these, you're wondering, what are all these silly controls for? Like here, level controls, left, right, AM. That's so if you're tuned on to the AM left channel, the FM right channel of a station, you can tweak them so they're the same. Now, of course, the fidelity's not the same, but you'd be surprised. These have a really excellent AM circuit. It actually has, and then in the stereo converter, there's a balance and separation right out front, which is kind of cool. 2 types of filters, SCA and noise. You can turn the stereo converter off, AFC. It's quite a unit. But, as I mentioned in the previous video, I had to replace these 2 coils. This one was repairable, but I took the other one off, re-glued and repaired, and I'll keep it as a spare. This one looks nicer. This one was destroyed because the coil is flat with the base. I would have had to unwind wire to make it work. That would slightly change the value. Maybe not enough. Hard to say. In the past, it has. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Recap the whole thing, all the electrolytics. New electrolytics in the power supply on the IF board. Now when you align this one, these are meant for easy alignment. I couldn't find a free service manual for this one anywhere on the internet. Not even a schematic. And some of these I actually do have the service manual, it's just not this one. But the AM section, the capacity, variable capacitors right there, the IF is all inside this can. Why is it sealed like that? Because it's on when this is on, and you may get interference between the FM oscillator and the AM oscillator. I had the lid off. It didn't happen, but it could theoretically. And these people build stuff, bulletproof. So you can actually like tweak the oscillator and RF on here and then just go through these and you're aligned. It's so logical, and it was meant to be alignable at home as long as it's working. And I was lucky that when I put these coils in, I was able to get onto a stereo signal. They were close enough. And basically you start for the FM, You start at the FM variable capacitor, there, and there, for oscillator and RF. And those are pretty much on. And then the IF strip goes this way, and it's basically tweak with the meter. I know it sounds simplistic. The last one's a little tricky. It's the discriminator. How do I know that? I can just tell having done many. The last two are the discriminator. You're looking for the cleanest sound rather than peaking on the meter. It doesn't affect the meter that much. That's basically pulling your audio component out of the FM demodulated carrier. There, I think I got that. And then it swings over to here. You have the 18 kilohertz oscillator section here. 19 kilohertz oscillator over here. And these two are tuning coils in the equalization network, and that's rare. I mean, that's a high-end tuner thing that's usually fixed. There are two packaged electronic circuits here, but you can actually adjust the response for better highs, better bass. It's not by much, but each channel has its own tuning core here. And that's kind of really interesting. I wish they had put that on the Dynaco FM3. As you know, there's a bit of an issue with the PECs on there. You have to build new circuit packs on those, which I've done. So basically, like twice through, and I started listening to it. Only thing I noticed then is the stereo lamp was out, so I had to replace that. It's bayonet bulb. AM just tweaked very easily. It's actually an excellent AM radio. I'm really surprised. Very low noise between stations. Need a little adjustment. The pointer wasn't quite gliding right. Fix that up. Lubed everything so it moves nicely. And even the weaker stations, you can pull in stereo. Anything from about signal strength 1 and up, you can pull in stereo. It's a little noisy. And then you can actually try the SAA trap, which is in the demodulator section. That will cut some of that noise that you get. Other than that, as far as FM signal goes, I have local, medium, and distant to attenuate the antenna. Keep it on distant. You could overload this tuner. So I'm just going to do a little review now that it's working. This sounds as good as any of the Heathkit tube tuners. And I've owned every single model, like all of them, the AJ-13, the FM only one, the AJ-31. Those are nice sounding tuners, but they're very drifty. There's things you can do to improve them. This tuner actually, even on a weak station, like 106.1 here, I would leave it on for an hour. It wouldn't drift. Shut it off, turn it on 4 hours later, it would be right on. Lock in the stereo right away. That's really refreshing. The sound quality is excellent. That's all I can say. And it can pick up like quite a few stations just with that. So if you had a dipole or even better an outdoor antenna, it would be fantastic. And you know what? It's just cool to look at. Especially in a room when it's getting darker at night, you know. It just looks great when it's on. What else can I say about it? Only fault, there's quite a few stations between 90 and 92.1 down here, and it has trouble sorting between them. You can turn the AFC off and get some of the ones that are weaker, but you get a bit of bleed over. So it has a little trouble. The IF has a little trouble. What it needs is a narrower IF phase or switch. But considering like how well it sounds, I wouldn't make a big deal of it. And I was listening to it through my KG-854, which is really excellent. So anyway, I'm going to listen to it for a while before I put the lid on. The lid could use a little bit of cleaning. Thanks for watching and listening.